Hey, what's going on, everybody? CB Baker here with another episode of Conquering Dreams. I get asked a question a lot about how to calculate how much you're worth. By being a business owner, a lot of times you're negotiating with people on how much they should get paid, and then having to break all that down based on the value that you bring. So I want to cover this a little bit so you can figure out how much value you already bring in with your calculations and following this simple formula that I'm going to be showing you here in a second. So let's take a look at this PowerPoint that I got pulled up here. So knowing your worth. So let's take a look at this. The example I'm going to be giving here is for a person that's making $100,000 a year. So when you're coming out of college, I know when I was coming out of college, like that was like the pinnacle for everybody. I want to be able to make 100 grand a year, right? That was it. Like I can make 100 grand a year. I'm straight and I'm set. Now, as you get older, you start to find out 100 grand a year isn't really a whole lot, but let's go ahead and break it down and see how much value you're worth at 100 grand a year. So the first thing that comes up is you take your 100 grand a year and you divide it by 12 months. So you'll get roughly $8,333.33 a month. Now that's if you get paid monthly, and of course this is gross. None of these calculations have taxes involved in it and or overtime, which I will discuss a little bit later. So after that, you take the $8,333.33 and you divide it by 4 weeks. Before the calculation nerds get on me, this is by roughly about 4 weeks. There's usually 4 weeks in a month, give or take a half a week or so. But let's go with just 4 weeks. So you take that, you divide it by 4 weeks, you get $2,083.33. Okay. Then you take that $2,083.33 and you divide it by 5, you get $416 a day. That's if you work 5 days a week. Okay. That's $416 a day. Now, with that being said, not everybody works the same amount of hours. Because I know what you was thinking, 8-hour workday. Well, pump your brakes. Not everybody works 8 hours a day. Some people may work 10, some people may work 12 hours a day. And this is how this math works out. So how many hours do you work in a given week, right? So if you work 8 hours a day, it's going to be 40-hour work week. Everybody is typical on that. You basically kind of baseline for a 40-hour work week, right? So if you take that $416 and divide that by 8 hours, you're going to get $52 an hour. Now, I guarantee you most people that if you was offered a job at $52 an hour, they'll be willing to take it in a heartbeat, right? It's like, yes, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. All right, so now let's say all of a sudden this job starts take a little bit more time. Now you're working 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now you're up to 50 hours, right? So now you're coming down to $41 per hour. All right, $416 a day divided by 10, $41 an hour. Technically it's $41.60, but okay. Now 12 hours. You're working 12 hours a day, right? Now, 12 hours times 5 is 60 hours. This most likely is the real number for people that's making roughly about 100 grand a year in corporate America. They're usually working 12-hour days to get to that 100 grand. And they're providing a lot of value for that, but that's normally what the hours look like. And you hear about the people talking about work-life balance and things like that. That's where that comes from, is 12 hours a day. So $416 divided by 12 hours a day is $34.60. Now look at that difference. We started out at $52 an hour when we was working 8 hours a day. Now when you bump it up to 12 hours a day, now my value dropped to $34.60. Now, for the person who owns the business, it's really advantageous for them to get that 100K person to work 12-hour days, because now they're at $34.60. Especially if they're on salary, you put them at 12-hour days, you don't have to pay overtime per se. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but I'm not going to get into that. That's for the human resources and the labor people to talk about in more in depth. But with that being said, you can see right there on the screen how your 100K value went down as soon as you started working more hours. This you will notice for like entrepreneurs that's out there. If you're making $50,000 or $60,000 a year on your main job, and you go pull another hot side hustle, right? You put another side hustle to get another, say, 50 or 40 or 50,000, you got to start looking at how much value that you're bringing, because a lot of times that side hustle could take up another 8 hours of your day. So now you're working 16 hours a day. And if you average in that you got to sleep for 8 hours, that means the majority of your day is at work. And then if you have family, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, husband, or wife, if you're working 16-hour days, and if you got kids, how much time you got for them? And then more importantly, how much time do you have for yourself? So that's how you got to know, why you got to know what your worth is. So that's just quick math. You can easily just take a look at that. Take your hourly rate, plug it into the math. I got the PowerPoint up here. You can hit pause, bookmark it to come back and take a look at things and see where your worth is at. And if you found you got a good number, please leave a comment, share this with everybody so everybody can know what their worth is on their work-related worth. Thank you so much. This is your host, CB Baker. Till next time.